Welcome, everybody. Welcome. You are now tuned in to the BRI, which is the Black Research Institute, where we're here and we're committed to solve the problems. Thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Tonight's guest, I've been trying to get her on this show for at least a year. For at least 1 year, I have been trying to get this young lady or young woman on this show because of her personality. I did something for her back in the day, and I've been watching her, and she started doing this new profession that she's doing, and I want people to actually feel her vibe. She's a beautiful young lady. I keep saying that, but she's a beautiful woman, and I just got the chance, the opportunity to talk to her back in the green room, but I didn't get too much into it because I want to save some for the interview. So we're going to run our secondary promo, and we're going to get on with the show, and you're going to meet tonight's guest. Trust me, you're going to want to stay tuned for this.
This is Tracy Wilson, and you are watching the BRI with my husband, Denoris Wilson.
What's up? It's your girl, Paulette from Super Maryland, and you are watching BRI, Black Research Institute, with my boy, Denoris Wilson. Stay tuned.
What's up, world? It's your girl, Latanya Michelle, and I am the owner of Tiger Eyes 360 Media Group, home of Proof Magazine, a Black woman's proof that positive Black men exist. And you are tuned in to Black Research Institute with my boy, Denoris Wilson.
Okay, we're back, and tonight's guest is none other than I want to call her a model, but she's a model, a chef, an author. A whole lot of accolades can go with her, but we just gonna call her the sensuous cook. And everybody, I'd like to welcome Miss Chermean. I keep messing it up, Chermean. So you're gonna have to, because I mess it up. So you're gonna have to clarify for me. You're gonna have to clarify for me.
Good enough.
All right. So what is it?
The sensuous cook, Chermean.
Okay, the sensuous cook, Chermean. How you doing, Chermean?
I am awesome. How about you?
I'm doing great. And before we start, I'd like to thank you for accepting the invitation to be interviewed on the BRI. I am very humbled.
You gave me no choice.
You're right. You absolutely right. Look, I reached out to you, and you was like, "Yo, send me some dates." And I was like, okay, I'm gonna send some dates. But then I waited. I was like, hey, what's going on? I'm waiting. Go ahead. What you say?
You were like, I need a date response back from you, because I was like, I'm so busy. You're like,
Right. But I'm glad we finally, found time to do this, because I think like a lot of people will resonate with you. I think a lot of people, and especially in Charlotte, I want people to understand that, a cook, a good chef don't necessarily have to be world renowned. They can be neighborhood renowned, city renowned, right around the corner renowned. You know what I mean? So we all know that person that make good fried chicken, right? Like we know that person that make good fried chicken. So, and I've never got the opportunity to taste any of your cookings yet, but I will remedy that real shortly after this COVID thing is over with. Trust me. But before we start the interview, it's customary here on the BRI that I ask you a couple of questions just to start the interview. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Are you being safe?
Absolutely safe. I am, you can be as safe as you can right now with everything that's going on, but we're all subjected to everything this pandemic has offered us, but you can be as safe as you can and still catch COVID. I've not been open to, I caught COVID. So, and I was being as safe as I can be. You can catch it without even being the person to bring it to yourself. So I've been as safe as I can. I was blessed that I made it through it, but I'm still continuing to be safe, caught it or not. I mean, I'm being very safe, but we can all be subjected to getting it.
Okay. Are you happy?
I'm absolutely happy, as you can probably tell.
Right.
I'm happy that I'm here, especially after the year we just went through. I'm blessed. I've seen so many people go, and COVID has been a lot of the cause, but we've seen so many people that we've lost. So I am very happy that I'm here to say that I made it to this year.
Okay. Well, that's good. So now we can start the interview.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're being safe and you happy. What more can people ask for, right?
Right.
Okay. So tell the people a little bit about yourself. And when I mean a little bit, I mean actually a little bit, because we do have an interview. So a little bit.
So I'm a talker, so let me give you a little bit. I'm an author. I'm a mom of 3. I am a chef, and I model. That's a little bit.
Okay, that's a little bit. Now, I remember talking to you prior to the interview,
Okay.
and we were talking, and you was like, "I'm an author."
Mm-hmm.
You was like, "I write adult books."
Yeah.
I never knew that. Like, listen, man, you're an adult, right?
Absolutely. I say things that people say.
Well, I mean, you may not think so. Say this. Say you say things that people won't say in public.
Absolutely. I write things that people are thinking that won't say in public.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So, but when you told me that, I was like, "Oh,
really?"
Yeah, I really was. I was like, okay, and then I kind of put 2 and 2 together. Okay, she write adult books, and then she's the sensuous cook. Like right. So I was like, okay. Then I started thinking, I say, hold up.
Around them with the and how that name came about because of my prior writing.
Okay. So the sensuous cook is more like an evolution of, the I ain't gonna say an evolution, but
Off of the books.
Right.
So I guess I'll go ahead and go into it. So the Sensuous Cook came about because I write, I say adult erotic fiction. A lot of you guys with Zane. So I write those type books. So what happened was I got into writing in about 2008. So I wrote my first book, and I wrote a second book in probably 2010. And I always cooked, but I would post my foods on my social media platforms, and everybody's like, "Oh my goodness, you need to write a cookbook." So people would inbox me like, "You should write a cookbook." And I'm like, I'm not Martha Stewart. I can't write a Martha Stewart cookbook. That's not my style. I know what I write. So I was actually talking to a coworker, and if she's watching, she'll know who she is. I was talking to her, and I was like, I gotta find a way to make it fit for me and what I do. So, everything about me, I'm just that sexy type, sensuous, not even purposely, but that's just who I am. I said, I gotta write a cookbook that fits my personality. So that cookbook for me was, let me write something where I can give you like adult kind of like sexy poems. So I give you a poem, I give you a signature drink to go with the poem, and I give you a meal. And the book is pretty much taking you through like dating stages. So the first chapter is like date night. So I give you a meal that's accompanied with a date night. And then you get a poem that fits date night, and you get a drink that makes date night. So it had to fit for me in being sensuous. And so some of the poems are a little bit sexy. And that's what that's how the name The Sensuous Cookbook came about.
Okay. I mean, me personally, I kind of knew after you told me you wrote adult books, I kind of knew how you got Sensuous,
Right.
cook. So I kind of put those two together. But for someone that's just picking up the cookbook, they wouldn't know.
Absolutely.
Right.
And
They
like, what's your name? And I'm like, the Sensuous Cook. And they're like, so they don't know the
right. They don't know the background. Like, and for those who don't know the background, it's like this gotta be a wild book.
right.
Because they don't know the background. So I can get that. But when you we're gonna put the Sensuous cookbook to the side right quick. We're gonna delve into your early writings.
Okay.
What made you start writing?
I started writing because I guess I noticed that I'm a Gemini. And a lot of times I tell people that Geminis are skilled of many, but masterful of none. So I found that I was trying to find my niche, the thing that made me happy. And, working in corporate America, I've done all of that. I couldn't find the thing that made me happy. So I started doing a little bit of research, and I really wasn't really into astrology, but I started reading on how the Gemini loves like change, which is very true with me. Like, you have to keep me engaged. Change is my life. So reading books was something that pulled me in, and then journalism, because it's forever changing. So I started realizing that, I need things that are forever changing. And so when I started writing, I started realizing that I could live vicariously through other characters in books. So I started, let me just try to write my own book. And a lot of people like, oh, you're not going to get a book deal. It's just so hard. And I don't like to be told that I can't do anything. That's just not me. So I said, well, you know what? I'll self-publish. I'm going to write this book and I'm going to put it out and I'm going to do book signings and I'll pay for it myself until I start making the money. So that's how I got into writing, because I started understanding that I wanted to be able to tell a story and live other characters' lives through the books.
Okay. Did you read a lot when you were in school?
I did not. That's the funny thing. I didn't read a lot. I was one that wrote a lot. I did write a lot of poetry and things like that, just kind of growing up. I was like, I moved on my own at a very young age. I took care of my sisters and, so I kind of became an adult very early on. So I wasn't able to kind of live, I guess, that childhood. So I started writing. Writing poetry was my way, my self-expression. So it wasn't that I read a lot of books. It was just more so I wrote a lot.
Right. Well, I'm not a Gemini. I'm a Pisces.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, don't even do it. and I'm an only child.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
So, yeah. So being an only child for me, I spent a lot of time by myself.
Right.
So I'm 53 years old. So when I was growing up, there was no video games.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing like that. So you had to be outside and play.
We had to play outside.
You had to play outside. But you're not gonna really get any enjoyment of playing basketball by yourself. Right?
Right.
So I had to find something in the house that would keep my interest.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing what you're doing. I started rapping, but it started out with poetry. It started out with me writing poetry, and I would rap for hours with nobody there. Mm-hmm. But it made me escape that I was by myself.
I get it, because that's the thing. A lot of people didn't. When I broke out with the first book, I had the she wrote that, that type, because nobody expected that. But I've never been one to just follow the crowd. That's just not who I am. I'm me. Love it or don't. That's just who I am. So I just felt that when I wrote it, a lot of people don't say what they really do and they don't say what they really think or write it. So I just wrote what a lot of people are doing undercover. I mean,
right.
You may not agree with it, but
no, they agree with it. What people do is you didn't write what people not saying. You write what people are not saying in public.
Absolutely, yes. What they're not saying in public. And some of the things I write in the book really truly shock you, but I mean, it's being done.
I mean, for you to imagine it,
It happened.
You right. Exactly.
Imagine it happened.
Right. If you for you to imagine it, like something triggered that imagination,
Right. And
right?
so my books, honestly, I'll be honest with you. I watch people, and a lot of things I write, it's from people that I've watched. I mean, it may not be your story, but it's something that I saw.
Right. And I think, and I think, like when you are an author, like I think a good author would get examples from a myriad of people and places and situations, and like, because if you just using yourself,
Right, it gets dull. There's nothing,
right? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what make writers like a Stephen King or those play, because I am sure like none of them ever really experienced some of the things that they wrote about, but somebody else may have told them the story or told them something like it, and they embellish upon that
story. And that the people read my stories and they're like, "Oh my goodness, you did all of this?" No.
Oh yeah. I bet they start treating you like a rapper then, right? Oh, I can imagine. That's why Zane is a pen name.
Right. That's not,
right?
You know what? I wasn't going by a pen name. It is what it is. I'm who I am. You can like it or leave it.
But that's exactly why Zane is a pen name, because
right.
people know you wrote something like that, then they start looking at you differently. They start looking.
Yeah, I got it in the beginning, and when I wrote it in 2008, oh my goodness, I got all the woes and the wows. But then I had the inboxes and the orders of the people that you didn't expect the woes and the wows from.
Right. Then plus you gotta let the people know though, you from Memphis. Hey, look, the city with the most non-drivingest people in the world.
Do us now. Listen, you gotta go talk about my whole family there. They probably watching right now, cursing you out.
I'm sorry. But Memphis, how was it growing up? Well, you left Memphis when?
Oh, yeah, but I still go back very often, and I don't play around in Memphis. Like, I love my people, but I'm giving you about 3 to 4 days.
Right.
Like, first 48 is real.
No, Memphis and Miami.
Oh yeah, it's real. Like, but I'm good because I have all my family there, so I'm covered. I got mama's side and daddy's side, so I'm good when I visit.
Okay, so you wrote the adult books, and someone talked to you about making a cookbook. So because you cook.
Yes.
So the process of you transitioning from just a strictly adult book to a combination of adult content and along with cooking, how was that process?
It actually hasn't been a bad process because my books came out like 2008 and 2010. It gave me a little bit of a breather. So in between, I was kind of minding my craft of cooking. So people were seeing more of the cooking, and I did my book tour, book signings for years with the books, and then I took a little bit of a hiatus. Life happens, divorce happens, things like that give that little breather. So people had time to kind of digest the change. So the change about, not that I'm done. Don't get it twisted. I'm done. Because the Perfectly Addicted sequel has to happen. So, I mean, I guess people kind of have adapted that she is who she is. And I'm going to continue to write. I'm going to continue to model. I'm going to continue to cook. So you kind of just have to take me as I am. I'm just like, I'm not a one-stop shop.
Okay. So is there first of all, we talked about your books. We talked about Sensuous Cook, but we ain't told people the name of the book. We ain't told people where they can get the books.
You tell them the Sensuous Cookbook.
But you ain't told them where they can get it at.
So my 3 books, we're going to start from the beginning. My baby, with the first book, Perfectly Addicted, that was the baby. And then my second book was Entangled Affairs, and then the Sensuous Cookbook. And they are available on my website and I'll give you that website. It's www.addicted to Chermean Chermean.com. It's on Amazon and it's on Barnes and Noble online.
So when we finish the interview, you'll send me those links, and I'll put them up on my page so that people can check them out.
Yeah, and
okay, so
the cookbook is available on an ebook as well, and then there is audio for Perfectly Addicted.
You narrating?
No, I got a.
Oh,
I thought about it. No, but I ended up a radio personality in Charlotte to do it.
I mean, you know, I'm gonna tell you something. Doing that, like I applaud like people like Morgan Freeman, James Earl Jones.
It takes some work. I was there. It was a whole process for her to do that. Yes,
it's a process because you got to get inflection and you know and then they're trying to look at your words and imagine how you would say them or how it's supposed to be said in that particular scene.
No. It's supposed to look like this.
right. You know, so it's like that's why when I said you narrate it, like I know it's a long process. That's a long process.
Somebody got a lot of sales had I done it.
Might have did. You know, but you know what about us? I'm glad that you hired somebody else to do it, because with us, whenever we decide to do something, we think we got to do everything.
And that's my problem. That has been my problem, and I'm just learning. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's the one thing that I've been learning. And it started for me in corporate America. Delegating is a hard task for me. I am a hands-on, do it myself. Never mind, it's going to take too much time to give it to you and explain it to you compared to delegating. And I have really, it's the funniest thing, because when I used to do interviews for corporate America, that was the one thing they said, what is your one downfall? It would always be delegating.
Well, you know what I found out with us is that it's easy to delegate when it's your own stuff that you're delegating. Mm-hmm. When you're delegating, and if it don't get done, it's your job on the line.
Yes.
Right. Yes. That's hard. That's hard, because you're depending on that person doing what they were supposed to do. Because if they don't do it, then it comes back on you.
And I find, though, even in being a business owner with me now, because I have several businesses at this point, and delegating for me is hard because my name's on the line.
Your babies. Those are your babies. Baby.
And let me tell you one thing about us. You know, we will bash one another. If one thing, if the butter was missing off that roll, we're gonna give it to you. So I am very particular about what I delegate when it comes to my business. What my business is. You know what I
found, Chermean, is that if I do something for you and I know I put my foot in it, I don't care what you say.
Very true, but you know, they will tear your name up on social media, and it all your business, especially when you got to understand when you're a new up and coming business, it takes one thing to destroy. When you have to build, like now, I'm getting to a place now, you either want my business and you're gonna pay my price or you're not. You know, I'm finally at that place. But in the beginning, you're just on pins and needles, like I can't have any slip ups.
Right. Well, no, you're absolutely right. I did an interview with a credit specialist, and I told her I had to learn to stop chasing money.
Yes, very true. And I'm in that place.
I had to learn how to stop chasing money. I had to learn how to stop, because when you chase money, you sell yourself out.
Absolutely.
Like you so I had to learn how to stop doing that. You know, and it's funny that you say that, because it's like, when you knew, you don't want no bad thing to be connected with your name.
And like that's but now I'm in a place where, like I said, I'm not chasing. I've done enough work, and people have tasted my food enough. You've read enough as far as my books are concerned that it speaks for itself. You either want it or you don't want it. I'm not lowering what I feel as far as my standards and my price or anything, because I know what I bring to the table. I know my worth. So you either want it or you don't.
That's great. So how was the baby?
The baby was cool. People think the baby, like, listen, he was so cool that he can't even sing, but he sang happy birthday to my niece. Like,
No.
yeah, he sang happy birthday to my niece. She was over the moon. And he's just the coolest person. And I tell you, he ate and tore that food up. He absolutely did. And like he was like, I expected a little bit different from him. And it was funny. I catered for him right after he signed. So
Okay.
yeah, to me, he was the coolest. So I did him. I did Bobby Brown. I did PBD. I did Kid Capri. Yeah, so everybody was great.
And you about to do Dolores Wilson. So you're going to be the celebrity Sensous Chef. So, but I asked you about the baby because I know when you started doing your cooking and your books, right? You probably never even imagined that the circles that you run in now, that you would even run in.
Right. And the funny thing is, when I did the celebrities, they were early on within the first year of me getting out into the catering world. So that was really, really crazy. And I was actually supposed to do Marvin Sapp and a couple other gospel, but things happened and I didn't fly in to do it. But it's like I started doing the celebrities early into the career. And it was just like, now I've done those. They're great. But at the end of the day, I enjoy cooking for everybody. It doesn't matter whether it's a celebrity or a local person. I just like people to enjoy my food.
But you do know, cooking for those celebrities and posting it online actually helped.
Absolutely. I knew that was a part of, there's a method for every madness of a chef.
Right.
Resume, but I've gotten it. So, whether I do another one or I don't, it's just a matter of I enjoy cooking.
I like how you presented it, though. It wasn't a braggadocious type of presentation. It was like, yo, this is what I made for Bobby Brown, or, baby came through and this is what I made for baby. And the crazy thing about it is, on all of those things, you never said to book me. you know what I mean?
If you want to book me, you know how. Like a lot of people ask, I'm like, inbox me.
Right. Well, I did, and it took me a year. So
don't do that. Don't do.
I'm glad I finally got you. So the book, right? So are these your own recipes, or are they like a conglomeration of your grandma and your mama, or just
my recipes are not, there's nothing in there that is just like one like specific realm of food, like soul food or anything like that. It's just companies I call it chapters basically in the book, where it's taking you through like dating. So for instance, one at the very end, it's like sealing the deal. It's called the last chapter. So it may be a lamb chop recipe with, rosemary, some type of sauce or something. I can't remember what it is, and the first one is like a smoked salmon bagel for the park, because
my wife would love that one.
Yeah. So it's so many different things that just fit that moment.
Okay. And of course, with each meal, there is a recommended beverage, correct?
And a poem, yeah. And so I call, like, I name the drink, and then it goes with.
It must be an adult name. It must, because you didn't want to say it. You like, I name the drink. Well, thank you for honoring. This is a family-friendly show, so thank you. But look, you don't want to give too much away anyway, because you want them to go and get the book,
right.
And if my wife, well, I ain't know if my wife is listening. I know she's listening, but I'm gonna get the book for you.
Tell her I'm gonna sign it just for her.
Okay, no doubt. But so when I think about, because remember, when I initially contacted you, you wasn't cooking.
No, and it's funny. I was gonna bring it up, but you brought it up early on. It was so funny. You did. It's still now my. I think it's still my cover. It's my cover picture or my profile picture. It was so dope that you did that picture, that blackout. And I was like, oh my goodness, because you found everyone that I did with that black setting and made it one. And it's on my website and everything. So,
is it?
Yes, it's on my website.
Okay.
Like, I loved it. And ever since then, I've left that as my profile picture or my cover.
What about the picture when you was on the beach and I had the water going?
Oh, I remember that.
I
forgot about that one. But I had the one that's the card for my one of my covers or profile that you did as well. So
yeah.
You told me and you just inboxed me out of the blue, and that's where the connection began.
That's where it began. Because I knew, like I said, I didn't know you were. Like I said, you wasn't cooking.
I was cooking. I wasn't cooking on.
No, you wasn't on right. So, but then I don't know what happened, Chermean. You disappeared for like a year. Maybe the algorithm on my timeline messed up, but you disappeared.
Patient said I'd never left.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying, like, because I hit you up and I didn't hear you.
Well, that might have just been busy.
Yeah, you did tell me you was gonna be busy, so you know.
I was really busy.
Because I wanted to get you on the site for Women's History Month. That's when I really wanted to get you on. And I had some phenomenal women last month. Phenomenal women that were doing, but I still wanted you to get in there because, first of all, like, it's been what, Chermean, at least 7 years.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, at least 7 years, and I was like, I seen you go from modeling, now you're cooking and you're doing. I was like, I'm starting this new platform, because I got people that I can.
You
interview.
were determined, though. You were like, and the funny thing is, when you called me, you were like, you sound busy. I was like, I'm always busy.
Right, you did. I was like, yo, you sound busy. And then you was like, okay, give me a couple of dates. And I gave you 2 dates, and you was like, okay, I'll take the 12. And I was like, oh. And I didn't contact you personally. And I tell all my guests this. I didn't contact you personally before the interview because I can talk. Like, I can talk. I know. And I want the interview to be authentic. I wanted to learn something about you while we're doing the interview. I didn't want to be like, oh,
You stopped me in the middle of the phone conversation, was like, see, here we go. We're about to get into something. And you stopped me and said, no, I want it to be authentic.
Because just like it's hard for you to answer questions, it's hard for me to come up with them. You know what I mean? So if I waste them on just a regular old phone call, what I'm going to ask you when you get on what's the name and still be as authentically surprised,
right.
As when you told me you did adult books. Like, I was like, oh, you was definitely like, I didn't know that. Like, I wish we could have got that on camera because my face was like, oh, she doing something. This is the thing. Like, I'm an adult, but I never. My wife would do the Harlequin romance. She wouldn't. I don't know if she did the Zane, but she definitely did the Harlequin romance books and stuff like. I never got into that because I'm the type. I'm an information guy.
Yeah.
I like information, right? And then I did a little bit of time in the state university for 5 years.
Oh yeah, that'll get you to reading everything, won't it?
I read Donald. First of all, let's keep it real. All throughout my school year, like from 1st grade to 12th grade, I never read an entire book.
Right.
Like, I never read an entire book.
Right.
To the point that I didn't think I could read an entire book. Right? Like, because I never read one.
I didn't get to reading to more so my adulthood. Like, I read in school. Like, I read a couple of the little kid books, but like really reading. Once I became an adult, I really got into reading. And I have one funny story before we move on about my adult books. My son in elementary school, funniest thing, he was so excited about his mom writing a book. He saw the books come in the mail. Listen, shipped in the mail. He sees all these books with his mom's picture on the back. I have bookmarks. I have all this stuff to go on book signings and promo for my books. And listen, my child got one.
Take the book home. To school.
Bookmark to school. I have all his teachers. emailing me. My son had taken his bookmark to school saying, yeah, my mama wrote a book. You guys got to read the book. And so I have all the teachers telling me they want to get a copy of my book.
So yeah, you use your son as a marketing tool.
That was not me. He was proud of his mama.
Well, I mean, glad it was just a bookmark, though.
Bookmark, not the whole book. I think he might have
Right.
got.
Yeah, but that is funny. But you know what, though? I tell people, my wife will always say, like, when it comes to adulthood, she will always say, and I don't, I didn't agree with her. She would say stuff like, hey, well, if you can't say it in front of your kids, then you don't need to be saying it. Right.
Right.
And I understand the premise of it.
Oh, yeah, right. Me too.
I understand the premise of it, but my grandmother also taught me that get out of the room when adults are talking. You know what I mean?
Adults are talking. Go in your room, close the door, please.
Go in your room when adults are talking, right? That doesn't mean that they can't say it in front of me.
Right.
Right. That just means that I'm not old enough to hear that right now.
Absolutely.
Right. I'm not old enough to hear that. So with your books, and here in elementary school, you can't sit them down and say, son, these are adult books. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't take these to school.
Hey, I appreciate you being proud of your mom, but can't take.
But how many sales did you get?
None from school.
None from school.
No, we didn't even entertain sending the books to school to the teachers. No, sir.
Okay.
No,
Well,
I didn't feel right.
Right, I understand that. So look, we're about halfway through. During this time, I take a little break. You can sip on your wine. You can check on some things.
Everybody knows. Listen, if you follow me, you already know.
All right, look, the promo picture.
Yes, like if it's not wine at the end of my day, y'all already know. This is a part of my evening relaxation. I work so hard. So this right here is my mellow out. And everybody knows, they said, "What I see when you post that glass, you're done for the day." I'm done for the day.
Well, you ain't done for the day yet, Miss Olivia Pope. For the commercial.
True.
We're gonna go to a quick break and we're gonna come back, okay?
Gotcha.
This is your worry-free 3. Do whatever you do and enjoy this. This is your 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm Dominic Manuel, CEO of the firm ENT LLC, and you're watching the BRI, Black Research Institute, with Dolores Wilson.
What's up, everybody? This is Trophy Santiago with Hair Mafia Extensions, and you are watching BRI, Black Research Institute, with Dolores Wilson.
Okay, and we're back with Miss Chermean. Did you like the little intro? The little you breaking up. I repeat it again. I couldn't hear you.
You sound a little bit well, but I said it was very informative.
Okay. Yeah. You know, a lot of times we don't take time out for ourselves, like just to breathe and relax and don't worry about nothing. And you know, for me, I say to myself, I was like, all these minutes in a day, I can't get 3 minutes to myself. Like, just don't worry about nothing.
Those minutes. I saw that. It really caught my attention.
Yeah, it's like all those minutes, and I can't get 3 to not worry about nothing. You know, and the reason why I chose 3 minutes because 3 symbolizes understanding. You know what I mean? Right. So I take the first minute to acknowledge what I know. I take the second minute to try to apply wisdom to what I know, and then the third minute I try to gain understanding for what I know.
I'm going to apply that. I really like that.
I mean, it's 3 minutes a day of reflection on just something. Like when you got a problem, just take 3 minutes to actually think about that problem.
Wow.
You know, I have an issue like in my office, everything is black, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means the remotes are black and everything is black. And when I'm trying to find something, because I'm caught up in the moment, I can't find it, but it's right in front of my face.
Oh yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
Like, it's right here. It's right in front of my face. But because I'm so caught up in the moment and I'm not just going back, all I got to do is just go back, think about where I've been, what I did, retract. But because I'm looking, and when I'm looking for the remote, but I'm remembering it from the last time I seen it. So if it ain't in that place, I don't know where it is. You know what I mean? Like I if it ain't there, I don't know where it is. And then I leave my office, I got an office in the back. I go to my house, come back, and I can look, and it's right there.
Right.
It's right there. So it's almost like your keys.
That's the thing. We have to remove ourselves sometimes from a situation, because I do that and I get frazzled in the moment and panic and start like overthinking it.
Right. And you know, a lot of times it's just because, like, most of the time when you're looking for something, you need it then. Right.
Now.
I need it now, like, you know, and that's how it always is. You need it now, but you can't get it now.
Right.
It's always like that. But let's get to these books. We're gonna start with The Sensuous Cook.
Okay.
I don't want to give too much of it away, because I you know, you are an author, and authors get paid by selling books, right? Like, so you can't sell no books if you tell everything about the book, like, right? So, out of the book, what is your favorite chapter and why?
My favorite chapter is well, there's actually a drink or so in my chapter that's called Full Court Press. And I say that because men are always saying that we put, and it came from dating someone, and they say we put down the full court press when we want what we want. And so for me, that's why I picked that name of that chapter. It's because when we want what we want, we're gonna make it happen. So we're gonna put it down. So that's why
that particular chapter has the full court press on it.
Court press. Yes, I'm pulling all the stops.
So the picnic chapter ain't your favorite chapter.
Oh, that's date night. That's the beginning. I'm just letting you know what this is.
and listen, it's funny that the date night in the first chapter is salmon, because when I first went, the first thing my wife cooked for me was salmon.
Oh, really? See, it's more of a smoked salmon, so it's not like the regular salmon. It's because it's a picnic in the park.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just why. Like, but full court press probably. And then I like sealing the deal because it's all finalized. This is the end. It's full circle.
You know what? Me and my wife, I'm gonna get this book. We're going on a retreat in 2 weeks, man. I'm gonna get this book. I'm gonna take it up.
You get the book. The deal is you have to cook the first recipe out of the book.
Well, we ain't getting the book. No. No. Okay. Look, listen. I learned a long time ago, right? A long time ago, I learned not to commit myself when I know that there's a possibility that of me not doing it, right? So I learned not to commit myself when there's a possibility. But I will say this: if I get the book, the meal would be cooked.
No, that's not the deal. Yeah, the meal gonna be cooked because as we talked about prior to Green Room, we gonna make it happen. That's why.
Right. And then plus, I love my wife's cooking. Like, I love her cooking.
No, but she would love your effort.
Not if I burn up that salmon. Not if I burn up that salmon. She won't. She loves salmon. If I burn up that salmon, she would not love that effort. You better believe that. But I try. I will try, because I mean, you got to try. I mean, that's what life is about.
I'm gonna give you credit for the effort.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna do it, and then I gotta call you back on the show and tell you about the experience. See, that's what you should have. You know how you have those shows where people look at an episode or something and then their reaction.
Right.
You need to have a reaction to different chapters from people who read your book.
Too funny. That would be funny.
That I'm telling you. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about another thing with your book. You need to write another book, right? Write another book, but make this book about the sensuous cook.
Ooh, about me.
About the sensuous cook, because you already got the sensuous cookbook out.
Oh,
now you got a book about the sensuous cook.
So what details am I giving in this book about me? Everything?
You the author. You are the author.
Look, you hold your eyes.
I'm just saying though, because with the it's like an extension of the cookbook.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's great, but there's two sides to me. You do know that, right?
I do, but we're talking about the cookbook. Huh?
I told you I was a Gemini.
Right. Yeah.
There's two. One you want to meet, one you don't want to meet.
Okay, so it can be sort of like Sybil.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. That's the perfect description. Like, there's one you absolutely did not want to meet.
It can be.
My nickname is Mimi. You don't want to meet her.
You don't want to meet Mimi? Okay. So when you started writing the cookbook, did you have like the blueprint already laid out, or did you write it as you were going, or what?
I was going, and that's with all my books. Funny thing is, a lot of my books, I come up with the title before I come up with the chapter.
Right.
I come up with what I want to name it, and I go from there. And like I start writing, I write best like in the middle of the night. Everybody's asleep, the house is quiet, I get my wine, and I go into a zone. And like I literally can see and smell and touch what I'm talking about. And
feel, right.
Oh, and what I'm saying, like, and that's why so descriptive.
That's that wine kicking in at late at night.
Able to get people like your details are crazy because I know what you want, and they say when you write a book, if you don't pull a person in by the first 2 pages, you've lost them.
Yeah, I know this one author I met when I was in Connecticut. He said he wrote the ending of his books.
Some people do that. They write the ending first, and they go
right.
back.
And you know, I'm such a chronological dude. I could never do that. Like
that either, because I don't know how it's going to end. Like I never realized how. And then Perfectly Addicted. Now I meant to leave it open. I left it open on purpose because I knew I was coming back with another one. It's not done. I've written, a lot of people don't realize, and it's been a minute. I've written probably about 5 chapters of the sequel to Perfectly Addicted. The cover's designed. It's ready. You know, I just am not done with it because catering kind of took precedence over everything.
So when you do release the second, you know, the installment of Perfectly Addicted, right? You need to re-release the first one.
Yeah, I probably should do that because you've got to read the first one to understand.
And not only that though, you can make more money. Just people don't get it.
I mean, you know.
People don't, it's almost like looking at a movie and coming in on it in the middle.
Right.
Like you miss so much. Like
you've got to understand the characters because I give you such information in the first one about each character in the book and their personalities that you're not going to understand the sequel if you haven't read the first one. You're just not.
So I'm asking you this other question. How do you think you would feel if your book got picked up to be a movie?
I was asked that a lot. I already knew your question before you asked it. Perfectly Addicted would actually be the ideal movie because it's such the story that people live and they don't tell. You know, it's such a thing that a lot of women are dealing with and they just deal and keep it quiet. So I would be, elated if it did because, it's a story that's kind of, you know, sexy and grimy, but it's real.
Mm-hmm.
So for it to be a story, I wouldn't. It's a Lifetime movie. How about that?
Okay. Well, it's some killing. some woman killing somebody. No, I'm just kidding. Some woman killing somebody that did something. A Lifetime movie always has a woman killing somebody. You know it. It's all look. Lifetime ain't first 48 on Lifetime too.
No, is it on? It's not on Lifetime, is it?
I think it is. I think it is. That's a killing channel.
Well,
that's the killing channel.
Yes, I won't fit. There's no killing.
Okay. All right. Well,
not yet.
Because you know I'm right. Like they try to
die on Lifetime.
yeah. A man gonna die on Lifetime. A man ain't got no chance on Lifetime. Like it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Like, you know, if you watching Lifetime, you a woman and you mad at a man do not watch Lifetime. Do not watch Lifetime. Now I'm telling you, do not watch it. Do not. And fellas, if you come in the house and your woman watching Lifetime, you better start cooking. Start cooking because Lifetime is not a man. Mm-mm.
Let me tell you, I guess a fun fact about me.
Okay.
I am I guess I'll say Dateline murder mystery. I'm a Dateline murder mystery person.
Oh no.
Like so serious. Like I'm not a TV person at all. Like I don't sit around and watch the news. I'm just not that person. Listen, I'm a Dateline murder mystery. I watch them. If I'm going to take a day and it's to myself, it's going to be I'm watching Dateline murder mystery, that type stuff all day. Yes.
You get ideas. Tell your man, like, look, be careful.
Stop it. I just
tell him.
Snap and all of that. Like, I'm fascinated because my mind is just like, what takes you to that place? You know, so I just get.
Or is your mind saying, how can I get to that place?
So,
How can I get to that place?
yeah, I'm a murder mystery. I don't need all the nonsense. That's the type
Right,
of
right.
I love.
Well, I'm a Law and Order guy. I love law. I can watch Law and Order all day.
Yeah, but I'm gonna watch Dateline Murder Mystery first.
Oh, I never really. I saw a couple of episodes, and you're right. Like that's real life. Like that.
That's me. I like Unexpected Killer, and I'm watching all of those.
God almighty, you. I hope your man is watching. I hope he watching because now he understands what he got himself into.
Quickly say because it won't work sometimes, and I'm like, why is it freezing and not working? He said because the feds are watching you because you.
They done profiled you. They done profiled you.
You watch too many. The feds watching.
Man, but no, I never got into that. I think I watched a couple of episodes because maybe they had did like a trailer for it, and I was interested in that particular. Like I think it was about a football player in Memphis.
Yes, I watched that one. Yes.
Yeah, in Memphis.
Branson.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, I watched
that. They did him bad. They did that brother bad.
So yeah, so that's see, I seen it.
Yeah, you definitely did, man. But Charmaine, thank you again for the interview. But I'm not done with you. I'm not done with you. I got before we leave the BRI, just like it's customary in the beginning, we have customs at the end of the show as well.
Okay.
And at the end of the show, before I let you go, I ask you there are two questions, but the second question is two-part. Okay. So the first question is, so are you ready first? Because I've seen you take 2 sips. You might want to take another sip. Take another sip. Take another sip. It's 2 questions.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take a third one just for the just because.
Okay. All right. So the first question is, what are you doing to push the culture forward?
I feel like what I do is with my cooking, I feel like it's more so with my cooking because a lot of people that eat my food say that I bring the soul and I bring the culture and I bring their feeling of the nostalgia of their grandparents and like cooking from the soul and the love. They feel it in my food. It's not just the commercialized. So a lot of people that eat my food come back and say, you just give me that feeling of my grandma's house, and I feel like we miss that because things have changed so much that we don't get the culture and that feeling of growing up when we had our grandma's food. And they think that I don't expect that me being my age that I can bring you that. But you got, and I got it from I'm from Memphis. The culture and the soul and, it's the heart of it. So like I got it from my mom. My mom got it from her mom and all of my aunts. And, so I feel like in my young age, I feel like I'm young. In my young age, I still bring that culture and that feeling of your grandma's house.
Okay. I'm going to say something about Memphis before I go to...
Listen, I done told you.
Something good. Memphis is like what... Okay, in Connecticut, I lived in Connecticut, New York was like the metropolis, right? It's the place to be.
Right.
But Connecticut is like the little brother.
Okay.
Right? It's the same things. Same thing going on. Same type of style. Same type of dress. Same type of clothes. Everything going on, right? Memphis and New Orleans are brother and sister.
It's right.
They brother and sister. It's jazz in Memphis, jazz in New Orleans.
Blues, jazz, yes.
Everything. And the food.
Listen.
One thing I did like about Memphis, the food is off the chain. That feeling
of just Memphis just gives you, like, especially Memphis in May, the barbecue and the, like, that's the one thing I guess I bring. And that's why I love when I go home, I get to kind of re-energize that, because I'm not there that often. So even just being around my family, they're so different from us, because I grew up here in Carolina, that, like, you know, I was there as a young child, but I still get to see and feel the vibe from my family. So that's where I feel the culture stays in me. You know, I'm able to keep, and I was so blessed to be able to get some of my grandmother's recipes. And then my mom is still here to give me some of hers that she got from her. So, you know, I feel like I bring that and I offer that. And a lot of people, I'm telling you, most people, when they eat my food, that's what they tell me. They're just like, you bring so much, and I can just taste the love in your food.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get a chance to taste it soon.
Absolutely. We're going to make it happen.
Okay. Now, my second question is, it's a 3-part question.
Oh, 3?
It's a 3-part question where it has 3 answers, but it's one question.
Got it.
So I need for you to name me 3 famous Black people, but they can't be athletes or entertainers.
Oh, are you kidding me right now? With wine?
Yep.
Okay. 3 famous Black people. They can't be what?
Athletes or entertainers.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can do it. I might fail. Okay.
Ain't no failing.
No athletes famous without being an athlete or entertainer.
Yep.
Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Malcolm X.
Okay.
And I got one, but I don't want to really use him because he's in the same area as them. Let me
No, don't do that.
Okay.
Who? Jesse?
Yeah.
Jesse Jackson?
Yeah. He famous. But
yeah.
Because
No, that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. I ask people that question, right? Because we're all a product of the same school system, right? Which is the American school system. I asked you to name me 3 famous Black people without being athletes or entertainers. We have a lot of Black people that contributed to America, but they didn't teach us that.
Right. Very true. And I'm gonna tell you one. I got one right here. Give me 1 second. It took him doing what he did for me to know who he was, which is this guy.
Oh yeah. When he paid for the tuition for people. Yeah.
So yeah, you know, he's here as a forefront of billionaires to keep looking at every day, because you know that's what we strive.
Smith last name? What's his last name? Yeah, I remember one time, maybe about 20 years ago, he was on Oprah.
Yes.
And yeah, he was on Oprah, and he was rich then. Like he was rich then, and he was getting ready to give Shaw University. He was going to give Shaw University some money, and he had already donated like $10 million to him. And he was like, "Well, I'm going to do another 20 million." And Oprah was like, "Don't do it."
See,
like, "Don't do it. You did enough." But he didn't listen. You know what I mean? Like, but I can kind of see Oprah's point of view.
I get it, but
you know, because if we're gonna raise up, it's gonna take more than the pockets of one individual. Right. Like, so I kind of figured. So if you know it's gonna take more than the pockets of one individual, why would you encourage someone to go broke doing it?
Well, because listen to me. I don't think the man's doing anything that he's going to do to go broke. He's a smart man. So
no. I don't think Oprah was insinuating that he was going to go broke. I think she was insinuating like let somebody else do their part.
No, I get it, but I feel also that if someone wants and they feel it in their spirit to give, and that might be just his thing, his way. You can't also deprive and take away from what makes his soul and makes his heart happy to do for his people.
Well, obviously he didn't listen, because 20 years ago he gave money to Shaw, and then 2 years ago he paid off the tuition for a lot of series. So obviously he didn't take Oprah's advice. And if you really want to keep it real, he didn't really need Oprah's advice. He got his $1 billion off of his mind.
Right. And so, I'm not knocking her, and I'm not
Me either.
But at the end of the day, you have to do what's right, and settles within your soul, because at the end of the day, when he's gone, he has to feel complete in what he did.
And I think he does, you know what I mean? Because even after he did the thing, what college was that? Was it
I think it wasn't it like Spelman or Moorhead or one of them.
Spelman.
Yeah.
It was one, but he did it and disappeared again.
Yeah, he got quiet. Like, he did what he did, and he didn't make a fuss about it. That's the thing. That's what I love about it, because everything that you do does not require notoriety.
Right. Yeah. Like you see people say, like you see them people doing the video. This homeless man was out here, and I gave him $1. Like, why are you videoing it? Like, that don't make no sense.
It's not genuine if you got a video and broadcast it, because that man might not have wanted everybody in the world to know that he needed $1.
True. But I guess the people that's taking the camera, like, if you didn't want nobody to know, you wouldn't be out here begging for it.
The man hard spot. Like, I don't need everybody. Hey, it could be any of us on that corner needing that. Yeah. I don't need you to put me on Facebook.
I know that's right. I told my wife last year, I said, you know what? I'm about to incorporate a saying in my life. Whenever something bad happens in my life, I'm gonna say 2 words. At least.
At least I'm not. I know that's right.
At least, like, I think if a lot of people start incorporating those 2 words in their life, they would have a more happy and more fulfilled life.
That's deep right there. Absolutely. At least.
At least, Oh, he got a new car.
In our woe is me moment, and I actually just posted something not long ago. The verbiage it's nice. it has some words but it was saying the same thing. Like, get over your moment. Like, we all are going through it. Like, get over your moment and get up and make it happen. Like, I don't need your woe is me and like your pity party. Like, we all are going through it in some form or fashion. So we have to pick up the pieces and find the rainbow, in the end, regardless of the fact of what you're going through. Everybody's going through something.
Right.
Period.
Yeah. I mean, if and buts about it, everybody's going through something. You're absolutely right. And when you think about it, when you really and truly think about it, it's like, it ain't always gonna be sunny.
No, and it's not gonna be always like, the thing is, some people lost so many people last year in COVID, and not just one. Some people lost both parents. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah. Like we get in our moments. Now I found myself, it hit us hard, like being in the catering world and stuff in the very beginning. Mm-hmm. Shut down. Like I had events and stuff booked, and they were like canceling. Like, I mean, it was just crazy. So like, I had my moment, but I'm the kind of person where I take the moment, I'm gonna have my little second in the moment, and I'm getting up. Okay, what's next? How we got? Right. Like, I can't stay in the moment for a long time. I'm gonna have it because we all need it, and I need to get it out. But right. I need to just get up and pick up the pieces and figure out what's next and how can I move forward.
Well, speaking of moving forward, hang on. I'm gonna end this show, and you hang back because I gotta ask you something. But hang back for like 2 minutes. No, not another question. I need you to do something for me. Okay. So, but everybody, thank Miss Chermean, the Sensous Chef, for coming through, and it was an honor and a pleasure. Thank you again. And once again, I tell you, I'm gonna have you back on here after you complete the Perfectly Addicted, the sequel, right? Like, no, don't call it the sequel.
No, it's called Perfectly Addicted 2.
Okay, yeah, because you want to do some like some old Fast and Furious. You want 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's on everything's on my website. It's just not done.
and when did you start writing it? The second too.
I started probably about a year and a half ago. I probably started, like, it didn't take me long to write the first ones because I knew I'm going to knock it out. I think it took me about 9 to 10 months to write the first one. But this one I now have taken on catering and all kinds of stuff.
So I'm trying to get to the point. So you started writing it last year?
Yeah, about a year and a half ago.
And when you get the cover done?
I got the cover done right after. What I did, I sent my son is amazing. I sent him the synopsis. I always send him a synopsis and tell him this is what it's going to be, and he makes it magic.
Okay, you can wiggle out of it. You can try to.
Don't do it. I'm trying.
You can wiggle out of it. That's okay. That's okay. I ain't mad at you. You know, if it get not when it becomes successful. When it becomes successful, just let me do the marketing for your 1 million book sale party.
Okay, I got you. Cause I'm telling you, hooked me up on my blackout. You surprised me with that one, so I got you. That's the deal.
Well, I'm gonna let you go, but obviously I didn't surprise you enough for you to call me out to do your book cover for so I'm gonna let you go. Nah, I'm just messing with you. Let me tell you something. One thing I learned, I can't have no feelings with this thing.
Right.
Like I can't. You got some people.
So you on the screen because I didn't even see your face when you sent me. I didn't know who you were. You just sent me a cover those pictures out of nowhere. I didn't know you or anything about you. And then you're not one to have a lot of pictures on your page. So I was like, what's this person that just did this dope cover for me?
Right. That's just what I do. I mean, you know what? Me personally, I believe like this. I do something for somebody if I'm inspired to do it, and then I do it for nothing, and it winds up being
something.
Right. It just winds up being something. And I got put this way. I've been doing graphic design for like almost 20 years now, and this is what I do. And I don't do you don't see me marketing and advertising.
I don't do that. You were so quiet. Man, just quiet. You just sent me this.
I don't do none of that. I just figure I send it to you. You like it,
right?
We'll do this, right? And then even if we don't do business, I still get gratification if I go to your page and I see my work up there. It's still
up there.
So that's just I got a lot of my business like that. Like like when I see somebody and they're doing something and it ain't quite up to par. The design is not up to par. I do something and shoot it to them.
It was dope.
I do it and shoot it to them, and usually they hit me back like, "How much?" Well, if you really gotta ask how much, then you're gonna wiggle your way some way out of it. So I'm just gonna be like, "Nah, you can have it. That's on me." But I normally charge. Right. You know what I mean? Right. I normally charge because one thing I learned too. If somebody wants your services, how much is not the first thing they're gonna come out with.
That's when I say that's the truest statement, and what I do, I've learned that what do I need to do?
Right. That's it.
What do I need to do?
Or how can I pay you?
How do I pay? What do I need to do next?
Yeah. Because whenever I hear how much you charge, no. When I hear that, you can't afford me. Like you can't afford. And not that I'm well overpriced or anything like that. It's not that. But if you're asking how much for a simple project, then obviously you need to go to Fiverr.
Right.
Like you need to go to Fiverr that can do those things with you. I do specialized work,
I just made a post about that too.
Fiverr, yeah, you need to go to
Fiverr. My work. Like I'm not knocking if you can get it cheaper, go for it. But what I charge is what I charge. And I'm like, you either want it or you don't. Right. Like you're not going to get amazing catering, amazing service, amazing food, and get McDonald's value meal price.
But they want it. They want it at that.
You can't tell me. I know.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, Sheree. They tell me, man, how much you charge? Man, I charge $95. $95. Such and such charge $50. Go with such and such. I ain't mad at you. Go ahead. I'm not mad at you. That's your money. You do whatever you want to do with your money.
Yeah.
But don't sit here and try to argue with me about my prices.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with you about your money.
Right.
You need, you know, so. But look,
right.
that's that Gemini and that Pisces. We were supposed to have been ending this about 3 minutes ago. That's that Gemini and that Pisces. So hold on. Let me end this, and I come back and get you. And I need you to ask you something, to do something for me. Okay, everybody. Chermean was cooked. Thank you, Chermean.
You're welcome. Good night.
Chermean.
Yes.
Thank you, Chermean. Okay, y'all. I forgot to mention, we're still in the gambit. The gambit is in full motion. If you want to donate to the Black Sovereign Community Fund, I'm going to put the link here. That's the GoFundMe if you want to donate to the fund. And remember, this fund is going, the purpose of this fund is to make our HBCUs totally self-sufficient. I want us to be the financiers or the boosters, so to speak, for our own universities. They're ours. We should be taking care of it. And that's what the Black Community Sovereign Fund is about. So you can donate to the Black Community Sovereign Fund there. I mean, at this link on the GoFundMe. And you can also find this link. It will be on my BRI page and my personal Facebook page, as well as Charmean's information on how to get her books. But once again, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. I love y'all. Be blessed. And remember, in order for you to receive a blessing, you must first be a blessing. Peace.